Ayi bobo, bon comba. Ayi bobo, bon comba. Ayi bobo. Enough respect and big up and ayi bobo to the ancestor, Bookman Dotty. You know what I'm saying? And I want to come to the point that you just mentioned just now, sister, that you have family in Haiti, because I think that the for better or for worse, yeah, for the agenda, our own agenda as those who are concerned with the liberation of our people and the neo-colonial, the neo-colonizer, the Western imperialists, the focus on the militia can be a bit of a distraction, partly because if you've been following Haiti over the last 5 years, you will know that there's been a lot of mass protests, yes, and mass demonstrations taking place. People have been out in the streets, yeah, demonstrating and protesting. And so I want to take the gaze away from the militias somewhat, yeah, and discuss the masses of the people on the ground and the efforts that are taking place away. And by the way, let me just say this: this is not to delegitimize or belittle the significance of armed resistance. All right, I'm not. I want to make that very, very clear. Okay. However, there's a lot of things going on. Yeah. And so, what can you tell us, my sister, about the masses of our people at the moment in the various different areas, rural and city, and the extent to which the resistance is a people's resistance, and what are the kinds of things that are activities that our people are engaged in on the ground that you know of as it stands at the moment?
Yeah, and this is key, I think, because one of the things that happened with Ariel Henry, which has also led to the proliferation of these armed groups, is the stifling of mass resistance by using armed groups against the people. And so before, before Ariel Henry left, under Martelly and Jovenel Moïse, some of the biggest protests were the Petro-Carib protests. Where's the Petro-Carib money? And let me explain what Petro-Carib was. And this is why the U.S. really hated the Pueval. One of the reasons, because he had signed a deal. Venezuela, by the way, has always been a support of Haiti under Hugo Chavez, our brother. And in 2007, 2008, Venezuela signed this deal when oil prices were high, and with the Haitian government, and he said, we will provide you with oil, all that you need, and you don't have to pay us back for 25 years at like 0.5% or 1% interest. I think one of those two, right? And so, and use the money that you sell, you make from selling the oil for development projects. So this is a real, brotherly, sisterly thing to do with a country that has a lot of oil. So. So this created billions of dollars of revenue for Haiti, for the Haitian government, outside of this aid stuff that people always talk about, right? Created billions. And so under Martelly and Jovenel Moïse, they stole all of that, right? And these are the people that are put in place by the U.S. government. Hillary Clinton loves her Michel Martelly. You can look up online. There are pictures of them, hand in hand, around each other and so on, right? So when there's a report that comes out that shows that all this money has been stolen, like $2.3 billion were stolen by these people, right? That were put in place by the U.S. government. There were millions of people in the streets. So 2018, 2019, everyone was in the streets. This is the youth protesting against this, but also protest against the fact that U.S. was supporting and putting into place these puppet governments. So protesting against U.S. imperialism, protesting against the sitting puppet governments. This happened nonstop. And with Ariel Henry, it got even worse with the protests because people were saying, how dare you install this man on us? We don't want this man. And then not only that, he has no power. He has no legitimacy. Why is he signing deals to remove our fuel subsidies? Why is he going around asking for military intervention? So people were protesting. At the same time, you have the people on the street protesting, but you also had some certain groups who are trying to work on a transition because they're like, Ariel Henry is illegitimate. So after the assassination, what you had is groups are getting together for a transition plan. So there are several groups. There's the former Famille Lavalas, which was the used to be the largest party, but it's back with broken by U.S. empire from 2004. So it's like a weak version of itself right now. So you had that, and then they had their own transition plans. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do. It would take a few years, and then there was a Montana Accord, which actually brought together a bunch of different people. where where you have people from the masses, the local community, the bourgeois intellectual. I used to look down on that accord because I was just like, these are like these bourgeois people coming together, and and adding one or two people from the rural areas, to do what they need, right? But they had a 2-year plan where they had like a transitional council, and then they would have, they would like set the stage for actually democratic elections after Moise's death. The U.S. government bypassed all of that and demanded that none of this mattered because they're going to go do what they want to do. And they told Ariel Henry, who was unelected, to come up with his own transition council. So he, instead of, he just said, Ariel Henry could not be in power without constant U.S. protection and USA. And the other thing is, the UN still has an office in Haiti, even though they're supposed to have left. And so whenever any discussion around Haiti was going on, like today, there's a secret meeting. There's no Haitians representing Haiti. It's like the UN, it's our colonial office. Like, it's like we have a colonial overseer, this woman from Ecuador, who's the head of the UN office in Haiti. Mind you, remember, Ecuador has a real gang problem. Remember, they took over the entire cities. That's a whole
another story,
So you have that. But I also want to say quickly, when they say gangs are all over the country, that's a lie. Gangs are, the gangs don't number that, the so-called gangs, like these armed groups don't number that many. They're mostly in the capital city, Port-au-Prince. And the reason that the rest of the country is affected is because, they're located in places that block access to, to go up, to leave, I'm saying, like block the major roads that will take you north or east and so on and so forth. And so they also don't even take up 80%. If you look at a map of Port-au-Prince, they don't take up 80% of the countryside. Meanwhile, commercial flights have resumed in the northern part of Haiti in Cape Haitian. So, the West is reporting this, but they're flying in and out, right? So Haiti has 12 million people. They're only, there's like, I think 1 point something million in the capital city. So what's happening to the rest of Haiti, right? You don't get to see any of that because what they want to create this narrative that only, armed intervention will save Haiti. It's almost as if what's happening, like this is a civil war in Haiti, like what's happening in Sudan. It's not that at all. It's a small and once they run out of ammunition, everything stops. So you could easily stop that by holding the ports, getting these elites to stop putting, shifting arms and so on and so forth into Haiti.
Yes. Thank you very much, my sister.